What's up, YouTube? It's Glenn back with Big Jack, back with another edition of the Best Bets of the NFL Weekend podcast. Last week's a tough week for Jack. He goes 0-3 in the wild card round. I find a way to go 2-1. Brings Jack's overall season record to 25-30-2. My record goes to 27-28. Jack, tough week for you, man. I hope you bounce back this week. Are you got any signs of life over there, or how you feeling?
No words, man. I'm in full out chase mode. The season's been lost for a couple weeks, and now it's like, I really gotta put something special together down the stretch to even creep near 500. But yeah, it's piss poor, pathetic, no excuses, nothing positive.
All right. With that being said, let's find a way to get some winners this week. I did go 2-1 personally. The one loss was we were both on the Jags against the Bills. I feel okay going in this week. Hopefully we can find some winners. I will say last week I was on some favorites. I'm on some dogs this week. So as we hop into it, I'll get into my first pick. My first pick is the team I went against last week. I'm going on the Buffalo Bills. Don't really know if I'm a big time believer in this Denver team. Obviously, they got a tough defense, but I think that Bo Nix and his check down mentality leaves a lot to be desired from a big play perspective at the quarterback position. I think there's such a mismatch at that position going into this game. I think Josh Allen finds a way to win it late. Bills are 1.5-point dogs. I think they find a way to get out of Mile High with a win. Bills plus 1.5. That's my first pick of the week.
I like that one. I'll just kind of stick with the trend of going in order here on the games. I'm actually doing something I'd never do. I'm going to take the under in the Buffalo Bills Denver Broncos game. I do lean that side. If I was going to pick the side, I think I would be with you on Buffalo and just, seems like if not now win for Josh Allen and that team, certainly if not now win for Sean McDermott. I think if they don't find it a way to get across the line, he's going to kind of fall into this trend lately of some pretty long-time coaches like Harbaugh and Tomlin shaking things up. I could see Buffalo moving on if they don't win the Super Bowl. That's just sort of the standard, I think, for them at this point. And I just think it goes under. I think you saw last week that the Bills are very much a team that's sort of going to play, the game in front of them the way that their opponents are. They're not necessarily going to get overextended offensively. They kind of matched wits with Jacksonville all day. I think they'll look to do the same with Denver, a younger team who's going to, I think, kind of be content playing a little bit of a slower game, especially early on. I think they're going to lean into that defensive side of the ball. I think Sean Payton might have a little bit of a conservative game plan for Bo Nix. He has been a little bit of, turnover mistakes, especially early in games throughout the course of this season. So I think that game script is going to be a little slow, a little muddy, a little boring, if you will, for the first half of football. And I think it'll trend towards the under. So I'm going to take the under 45.5 in Denver, Buffalo.
Yeah, I think the under's the sharp side in that game for sure. If you're going to play that total, I just don't see Denver being able to put up big points in this game. I think if Denver's going to win, it's going to look something probably slightly under that number. And I think if Buffalo wins, there's a chance it could be pretty comfortably under that number personally. So, all right, my second pick of the week, I'm going to go to one of the hottest teams in football. They just blew the doors off of their opponent this past week. They're going to New England. They're going to Foxborough, and they're going to beat that ass. I'm taking the Houston Texans plus 3.5. I think they get out of Foxborough with a outright win. I think that defense is the real deal. I think they'll be all over Drake May. I do worry a little bit about Houston's ability to score points this week, but I think all they need is 20, and I think they get out of there with a win. Houston plus 3.5. That's my second pick of the week.
So I said I was going to go in order, but since you already called that game out, now I do have a line discrepancy. I see -3 plus
okay,
3.
I'll go 3.
It is to whatever you're looking at. It is +3 at even money, so it's +100 at +3, and it's -120 at -3. But so much to say is we were opposite Patriots Chargers last week. We're going to be opposite Patriots Texans this week. I'm taking the Patriots at home -3. I think it's a gotcha line. This is probably not fair. I've been talking a non-believer in Houston for the better part of 2 months now, and they continue to dominate. So given my record, I'm sure you'll be the right side, but I can't just, start hopping on your back. I still got to stick to the system that has dragged me to the depths of hell. And I'm going to ride the Patriots. I think it's the right play this week. I think Patriots win that game by a touchdown, so I'll take them -3.
Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud, despite them winning pretty comfortably there at the end. He was making all kinds of mistakes
Yeah.
throughout the course of the game. I could see that coming back to bite them in the ass. The Houston offensive line isn't the strongest, but I think that Houston defense is just the difference in this game. You know, Drake May last week also didn't look that incredible against Los Angeles, while I guess he didn't really have to because that game was firmly within control. But I don't know, man. I think Houston to me is maybe to me the favorite to get out of the AFC, and I know that's crazy to say, but
I
I
mean,
really like them.
you've seen it over the course of history with those, and CJ Stroud, like you said, I'm not a believer in him. He's made a ton of mistakes recently in games. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but you've seen less quarterbacks with those superior defenses win Super Bowls. You think to that dominant Ravens defense that won the Super Bowl in the early 2000s. There's been some dominant Giants defenses that have won Super Bowls. That dominant Bucks defense that won with Brad Johnson.
Seattle.
Oh, exactly. Russ, I think, is probably better than people remember him for now. He was a pretty damn good quarterback before the fall off.
Sure.
But to that point, there's plenty of, historical data that'll show you teams with a superior defense, the way that Houston seems to have, they can certainly get it done.
No doubt about it. Once again, like last week, we might have a short video just being on same games, different angles. My third and final pick.
There's only 4 games on the board.
I mean, there's only 4 games to talk about. You're right. My third and final pick, the Rams come to Chicago. You guys know where I'm going. I'm going with Chicago +4. To me, the great equalizer in this game is the weather. I know maybe that's a meatball, dumb angle to look at, but I've seen too many times teams come to Chicago, they get in this cold with the wind, and just they're not the same team. I think on a neutral site, I think this +4 line's about right. On a good, clean surface, you put them in this weather, and I like Chicago's chances to get out of there with a win. I think they're going to be able to do it. I think they're going to be able to slow down the Rams offense, and I think the Bears offense will have some success against this Rams defense that is good overall, but they've been struggling in recent weeks. I like Bears +4. That's my third pick of the week.
Love that one. I think you could boil it down to as simple as, and it is 4.5, where I'm looking.
Okay.
If you want to take the hook, but I think it's as simple as the Bears got blown out by Detroit. They blew out Dallas, and they blew out Cleveland. Beyond that, the Bears have played, 15 games now that have all, really come down to the last couple minutes. They just play tight games. I don't see any reason it's going to be different this week, even if they're down big. We saw what happened. They continue to come back consistently. You can't count this team out. I realize it's like, oh, well, that's not sustainable. Maybe not over the course of multiple years, but it has been for this team for this season. It's been a charmed year. And, you could say the Rams are the type of team, if they get out in front, they're not going to let you come back into it. Well, I don't know. They let the Seahawks come back into it when they were up 16 in the fourth quarter on them a couple weeks ago. The Seahawks win the game in overtime. I think I think there's a lot on paper that you could lean towards the Rams are going to take care of business, but I'm with you. I like the Bears +4.5. I think they cover this number. I'm taking the Bears as well.
Wow. Hell yeah. I was not expecting that at the end there, Jack. I love to see it.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm doing first time all year. There's 4 games on the board. I'm 5 games under 500 on the season. I'm chasing all 4 of them. I'm running for it. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks as well, -7 at home Saturday night against Niners. I think that defense just absolutely stifles them. I think they handle their business, win that game pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and the Niners coming off a tough win at Philly.
I got to wrap it up, but I got to take this call. Oh, I missed it.
Okay.
Anyway, you're good.
No, you're good. If you got to take that, go for it. But yeah, I mean, I like that side. I like that pick. I'm not on it myself, but I like where your head's at. Okay, the quick recap on the picks for this week. Jack and I are both on the Bears +4.5. I am on the Buffalo Bills +1.5. Jack is on the under 45.5 in that game. And I am on the Houston Texans +3 at New England, while Jack is backing the New England Patriots -3 in that game. Final pick of the week, Jack is taking the Seattle Seahawks -7 versus the San Francisco 49ers. Jack, any last words before you take your phone call?
No, it's all good. I missed it anyway, so we're straight. But yeah, like I said, I'm getting a little ambitious. Probably could even dig myself a little bit further into the ground, but don't have too many weeks to take these types of shots. So I'm trying to squeeze out a 4-pack here, and get anywhere near the that 500 before it's all said and done.
A little extra juice for that parlay too. Never hurt, baby. So I love it. All right. If you're new here, like and subscribe. We'll be back with a Bears preview video, and make sure to hit that bell for notifications on videos. Jack, hit it for him one time.
Bears.